81 and 82. So we read to 82 minutes 6 seconds.
Preview.
Hey YouTube, welcome back to Vchannel. Today we will find out really detail about battery and way to modify principle and relating. First of all, we will talk about two most popular battery type, that is lithium ion and lithium ion polymer, or can call lithium polymer. Basically, two types of battery is very same, except from lithium ion use liquid electrolytic, while lithium polymer use dry polymer panel. With using a dry polymer panel, it will help lithium polymer make many diversified shapes and can design to make very thin battery like this. Both of lithium ion and lithium polymer, you can see we have the voltage is 3.7 per cell. This is nominal voltage. When we charge to 100%, it's the 4.2 volt, and when it dissolves to 0%, it will be 2.8 to 3 volt. Back to lithium ion, you can see that's the number 18650, that is the size, 18E diameter, and 650 is length. And 26650 is similar, 26E diameter, and 650E length. Next is very important thing, that is capacity. More higher it is, more time it can work. It's you milliampere hour and watt hour. Two units can convert each other. For example, we have a battery 1000 milliampere hour. That means when we have equipment that's use an electric current is 1000 milliampere hour regularly. In 1 hour, it will be used exhaust this battery. And similar, if we have equipment use an electric current 500 milliampere or 2.5 ampere, this battery can use in 2 hours. Similarly with watt hour, but milliampere hour is more popular. Next is charge rate and discharge rate. You can usually see that 1C, 10C, 70C, 100, that's a discharge rate. 1C is 1 time capacity, 10C is 10 time capacity, etc. This is the maximum electric current discharge for of the battery. For example, I have a battery 1000 milliampere hour, have discharge rate is 10C. That means this battery allows discharge rate 10,000 milliampere hour. Actually, we can discharge more than 10,000 milliampere hour, but it will very hot and have bad effect and damage battery seriously. The longevity is decreased and even burn. So this is the maximum discharge for sulfate battery. Next is charge rate. Normally is 1C. That means it's allowed for electric charge current is equal to capacity of battery. Higher can damage battery. For example, we have the 1000 milliampere hour battery. Charge rate is 1C. That means we can charge for this battery at electric current is 1000 milliampere hour. Higher is damaged seriously because the battery will very hot. Normally, they usually charge lower than this number for more long lasting. Actually, with the current technology, we don't need to charge a regular charge current to battery. Instead of that, the electric current will change belong to charge period because the first enemy of battery is temperature. When the temperature is so high, it can damage the battery seriously. It will design in order to the electric charge current decrease when the temperature is high and increase when the temperature low. That is intelligent charger. An expensive charger has its own processor to control charge current. The quick charge technology at present is use that rule. It will adjust electric charge current in order to best for charge duration, ability to stand, and temperature. The higher class charger, for example in iPhone, besides using processor to adjust electric current, is also use Oracle Intelligence. It will monitor user habit to change the charge current suitable for this habit to avoid charge to 100% but continue charge will damage the battery. One another segment that I want to talk is about which are effect to battery longevity, that's a battery percent. both of lithium-ion and lithium polymer. If we don't use, we must bring the battery to storage mode. That is 60 to 70% or 3.8 volt. If we don't use that battery for a long time, but the battery is very high percent, over 90% or low percentage lower than 10%, the battery will be damaged, fatten, decrease longevity seriously. So you usually hear discharge, that is make the battery to storage mode 60 to 70% or 3.8 volt. With normal battery, we must discharge by ourselves, but with expensive battery, intelligent battery, inside we have auto discharge circuits. It will use the resistance, auto calculate, auto realize that we don't use the battery for a long time. Usually 5 days, it will auto discharge to 60 to 70% to avoid damage the battery. But if normal battery, we must discharge manually. Next is the element to evaluate battery health is internal resistance. To calculate the internal resistance, you can use the formula. The new charger generation have shown the internal resistance already, like this, right on the screen. The lower internal resistance, the more battery health. Under 50 milliohm, the battery nearly new. From 50 to 100 milliohm, the battery health is just remain about 80%. 100 to 150 milliohm, the battery health is not good, just remain about 60%. It's over 200 milliohm, we should not use anymore. It's very bad, can decrease voltage suddenly and even burn. Okay, that is some information and attention about battery. Next, we will talk about know-how of battery to modify the battery in general and modify the battery for Mavic Mini in particular. As I have told in previous part of this clip, every battery cell have the voltage is 3.7 volt. However, belong to each equipment we use is made different. For example, in the case of Mavic Mini is need 7.4 volt. We will use serial connection for 3.7 volt cell. The run that is, the serial connection will help increase voltage. The serial connection will help increase voltage, but remain capacity, like this example. We connect serially two battery cell. We will have the voltage at 7.2 volt. 3 cell serial, we have 10.8. Similarly, 4 cell, we have 14.4 volt. And we must use on-off cell with the same voltage and the same capacity. Because when we use different capacity, the charging or discharging will damage the battery cell. For example, we connect 4 cell. 3 cell is 1000 mAh. 1 cell is 500 mAh. Both of parallel connection and serial connection, the discharge is delivered regularly, so the low capacity cell is exhausted, but it still discharged. Over discharge, it will be damaged seriously, even burned. And similarly, when we charge, the electric charge current is delivered regularly to 4 cells. The low battery cell is full charging, 3 other cells is full, but the process is still continue. Overcharge, it will damage low capacity battery cell and even burn as well. And next we talk about serial connection. We usually see that the battery have the code is 2S, 3S, 4S. That means in this battery we have 2 cell, 3 cell or 4 cell to give the total voltage like this. And the next connection is parallel connection. It will remain the voltage, however, increased capacity. For example, we have 2 cells connect serially. We have each battery cell is on 3.6 volt and capacity is 3400 mAh. We have 2 cells connect serially. It will increase capacity to 6800 mAh, but the voltage it remain 3.6 and similarly 3 cell total capacity is 10,200 mAh and voltage is 3.6 volt. 4 cell total capacity is 13,600 mAh and voltage is 3.6 volt. In short word, serial connection will increase voltage but remain capacity, and opposite parallel connection will increase capacity and remain wanted. So it belongs to the purpose what we want. We will connect like that, and if you want increase both of voltage and capacity, we will combine two circuits. That's use serial connection as well as parallel connection. In this example, you can see we have the connection for 4 cell 3.6 volt, 3400 mAh. The total battery we have will increase voltage to 7.2 volt and the capacity will increase to 6800 mAh. At the market, you can see the battery show 2H2P. This is just right serial as well as a parallel connection. 2S is 2 cell serial. 2P is 2 pair parallel. The connecting of many battery cells to create a new battery will make some matter. Thus, if the battery cell is not regular anymore in using and in charging, that's the reason balance charger was created. It will monitor cell voltage in order to charging is more regular. The connect of battery charge like this. In the rest of this clip, I will show you how to connect balance charger because balance charging will increase the battery longevity so much. About drone battery modifying, we can see, although in theory, when we connect parallelly to battery, we will have the double capacity. It can have double using time, but in real, it's absolutely wrong. Because when combine the battery, it will suffer a new weight of the new battery, so it will decrease the flight time. So in real, when modifying battery for drone in general and for Mavic Mini in particular, we must calculate in order to best relating between capacity and the battery weight to relate the best flight time. One important thing that is safety. Because manufacturer always design superfluous power. When flying, the drone will fly in the unfavorable conditions such as strong wind. In that case, the motor will have enough superfluous power to fight against that wind. When we design so heavy battery, it will not enough power to fight against the unfavorable wind. It will have the risk out of control. The battery modifying in general, we have two main methods. That is connect new battery to the old battery parallelly. It will have remain voltage but increase capacity. And second method is replace the original cell by the new one which have higher capacity. However, you should pay attention to the previous part I have just said, that is besides voltage, we should pay attention to discharge rate. It's very important. If the new battery have not suitable, it can cause the bad consequence. In the case of Mavic Mini, the original cell that is Samsung 2400 mAh discharge rate is 20 ampere. So we must find that battery have the discharge rate suitable and the best is equal or higher than 20 ampere. And now, I will modify with many battery cells, both of lithium-ion and lithium polymer by parallel and chain battery cell. We will see the result and what is the best solution for Mavic Mini. Now we start the more interesting part is modifying. Right here I have some battery cell. First of all, with two lithium-ion, exactly like the original cell. I test its real capacity is 2538 mAh, very good quality. Next is the red cell, 2561 mAh and 25 mA. Next is pink Samsung cell, 3500 mAh, 13C discharge rate. I need to notice that 13C not mean that is low, like the previous part I have told. 13C is 13 capacity. We must use 13 plus its capacity to have discharge current. 13 plus 3500, we have 45,000 mAh. So this cell can use for Mavic Mini modifying because the original cell is just 20 ampere. We have real capacity of this cell is just 3327 mAh, and next is 3305 mAh, not reach to 3500 is the battery information. and the internal resistance is 33 milliohm. The second one is 53 milliohm. Not so similar, however, the difference is not noticeable, but apparently the real capacity is pretty smaller than the battery information. Next, I use lithium polymer battery cell from Mavic Pro. These cells have high capacity is 3830 and the discharge rate is 15C. 15 plus 3830 is 57,450 milliampere or 57.45 ampere. So good for modifying as well. And we should find the best location to put the battery, because if put not right the center of gravity, one or two motor is suffer higher pressure. We must take risk of overload, not stable in flying, and in strong wind it can out of control even. And the very important thing that I have taught in the previous part, that is the weight suitable for the new battery. So now we put this battery to see how much is suitable for Mavic Mini in sub level. Okay, now is 48.4 gram, another lithium polymer 79.9 gram. Next is two Samsung cell like original cell 91 gram. Next is two pin cell 96.2 gram. And two lithium polymer 124.9 gram. Okay, now I'm putting two Samsung cell like the original cell at 91 gram. Mavic Mini absolutely good, everything perfect. Next, I increase the weight. It suffered two Samsung cell 91 gram and a lithium polymer battery 49.9 gram. We have total weight is 140.9 gram. Mavic Mini is still good, still clever. Next, I will increase much more weight. I use two lithium iron from the original cell and 80 gram lithium polymer battery. We have total plus weight is 171. Up to this weight, it reaching to limit power of Mavic Mini. As can be seen, when I release the joystick, the airplane decreased the height automatically and very difficult to control, even out of control. In this situation, there is no wind, so it's very dangerous when we fly in real environment. Because right on that time, it have no superfluous power to fight against the difficult segment such as wind. The power must use on or for motor to suffer new battery. So we must modify in order to plus weight lower than 171. If we modify higher, it will relate to safety of flying. In modifying, besides connect parallel new battery cell to the original battery, I have some methods such as changing a new battery cell. In this case, I will replace two 91 gram original cell battery by 4 original battery cell by 4 lithium polymer get from Mavic Pro. For cell, I have total weight is 249.8 gram, but we will take out original cell, so we minus 91 gram, so it remains just about 158 gram. And can be lower than 158 gram a little bit because I will remove the battery cell, just use electric circuits, so it will fluctuate about 155 gram. I see that the plus weight is 155 gram is okay, the aircraft work perfect, stable. Now we begin. First of all, we begin with parallel connection. Because these methods just need connect parallelly, so I don't need tear down on of this battery. Instead of that, I just cut up the top to weld. The battery itself is pretty thin. I hit the knife, then cut. Okay, this is it, the blade. Now we just need to weld to this one, it will okay. Similarly the rest. Okay, the really important thing, you must know which one is positive and negative. If you need more beer, you can cut a hole for wire out, then can load this cover. Okay, it's done. Next, we continue the cell stuff. This is Samsung cell 2500 mAh. Similarly, the original cell. Through theory, we have new battery. If you have battery cell welder, it's perfect because don't hit the battery cell, don't affect cell longevity and quality. Now we connect serially two cells to have the voltage at 7.4 volt. The positive plate we connect to negative plate, then we will to drag. Now we will to cell 3300 mAh. To weld the cells by normal welder, we scratch the surface of cell. Use resin or this liquid. Next is 3830 lithium polymer battery cell. We have the discharge rate of this battery is 15C. 15 plus 3830 is 57,450 mAh or 57.45 ampere. It's good for Mavic Mini battery modifying. I have measured the real capacity of this cell is about 3850 mAh. It's good. To your balance charge, I will discharge to the total plate. And this is balance charge jack. In that case, it will charge for each cell separately and monitor voltage of each cell to have voltage is same on every cell, plate to negative plate. First red to first cell positive plate, next second white to positive plate of second cell, and so on. Okay, perfect. We have total jack and balance jack here. Now in next method, that is replace the battery cell. I will remove the on cell completely to replace the higher capacity cell. That's a pink cell, 3300 mAh, and I will replace by 4 lithium polymer cell, 3830 mAh each cell. For battery, I will connect 2S, 2P, that means 2 serial and 2 parallel. So we have total capacity is up to 7,660 mAh. In the case of battery cell is too on or damaged, you can use this method to change the new battery cell. In general, the modifying for Mavic Mini is easy because Mavic Mini battery have no lock circuit at all, so we can replace easily with the higher segment product J from Mavic Pro. When the lock circuits realize lost power supply current, move to original cell, the lock chip will lock immediately. So that case is more difficult than Mavic Mini. We must remain the power supply parallelly continuously while removing the original cell. Or another method that is if unfortunately the circuit is locked, we must have another wire connect positive through original board, unless the board is disabled. However, Mavic Mini is easy because it has no lock circuit at all. I'm not sure the future DJI added function to this circuit or not, but at present it's not held. Firstly, I will remove the blue type. Then the side label. It can be seen the battery itself is so thin. Then I will remove on of the original let-in solder. Right in this step, we still cannot remove the cell because in the bottom of battery cell have so much glue and beside the cell as well. We have two options. If you want to use this seal, you can have torch machine to melt the glue. But in my idea, I see that there's so much glue. So if I use the torch machine, we must throw very high temperature. It will damage the battery. I don't want to do that, so I chose option 2. That is cut the cover. Right on here. At the bottom. You can see too much glue. Next, we can see the white glue. This is a thermistor. Help us see the battery temperature right here. Some people don't want the aircraft show temperature. They can interfere to this one. And the red wire is balance chart and manage battery voltage. Now I can remove the battery cell. Well, as I have told you in the previous part, the battery from Mavic Pro have lock circuit. When we remove like this, the circuit is disabled immediately, but Mavic Mini don't have at all, at least this time. Now we change the cell. I measure the voltage again to make sure that everything is fine. The circuit is absolutely normal and like the original cell. Okay, that's it. Next, we will make another battery that I will replace by 4 lithium polymer cell 3850X1, 2 serial, 2 parallel to create 7660 mAh battery, very high. And we have balance chart as well, black white well to negative and red one to positive alternately. And we have 2 total plates to connect to the circuits. Because the original cell is removed completely, so you should try to hold the circuit in the battery cabin by closing the battery cover. I have bought right here a little hole to wire out and use glue type to hold tight the battery cover. I see that it's okay, really tight. Okay, in real using, I see that the original battery flight about just 27 minutes. I have never reached to higher than 28 minutes. Now we try modifying battery. How about the result? First of all, we'll connect parallelly to Samsung battery cell with 2500 mAh like the original cell. How it's going? 26, 27 minutes, so we will have longer flight time than the original one. However, how is good? 30 minutes, we remain 3.3 volt. And 33 minutes, and the remain voltage is 3.25 volt. Because of safety, the drone forced landing at just about 3.2 volt, not 3 volt. We reach 27 minutes with 3.4 volt. "33 minutes 14 seconds. We have over 6 minutes plus. The difference is not too much than the blue cell. Next, I connect parallelly to lithium polymer battery 3830 mAh cell with the original battery. Discharge rate is 57.45 ampere. These two cells is heavier than the lithium-ion cell apparently because the capacity is higher. Remarkable, but the drone worked perfect. Still clever. We still remain up to 3.56 volt. Very good, so promising. 30 minutes, still 3.54 volt. Very high. "35 minutes. With this information, it will break the record of 2 last battery. 37. Now is 40 minutes. 45. Still 3.33 volt. Now is 15 minutes. So the lithium polymer is very effective. Very good result. And land at 51 minutes 26 seconds. Now the second method is replace the original cell by pink one, 3300 mAh. It will because the weight of this cell is not different too much than the blue battery. Read to 27 minutes. Remain 3.3 volt. Pretty good. So it will pass 27 minutes of original cell. 29. 30. 3.2 volt. And 31 minutes 35 seconds. And now I will replace the original cell by 4 lithium polymer 3830 mAh. We have the new battery 2P2S connection 7660 mAh. In this case, we should hold the battery, not cover the vision position sensor in the bottom, because if it covers, the drone will increase the height we cannot control at all. Very dangerous. 27 minutes, still 3.6 volt. 33 minutes, easily. 35, 36, and reach to 40 minutes. Now a 50 minutes. Apparently, this method is very efficiency method modifying for Mavic Mini. $74, $75, $81, and $82. So we reach to 82 minutes 6 seconds. 1 hour 22 minutes 6 seconds. So impressive. This is the new record of Mavic Mini, and I want to mention that you must take care on the cell that you're using. The cell market in this time is very complicated. The fake cell, the low quality cell is everywhere. Absolutely, you will have too low a result than what we have in right here when using them, and even can cause crash, burn as well. Or in the processing of modifying, we make the cell or circuits or electric circuit too hot. It can affect them as well. Okay, thanks for watching. If you see this clip helpful, don't hesitate to click like, share, and can subscribe my channel. See you next clip. Bye bye. See you next time.